Honkoya, natural samaba. Na sawochi. Honkoya, natural samaba.
Asamaba, any nsuya afa yadesi ewo from mantem. Any miami ahodo a yebi nsuya yi. Ase omo nuoma afa omo. One yejina, yanko baby ya. Say na no pe wasore wase watade kama okwa adwuma. Enye saa tebia no ena bi wom. Womo omote from mantem nya saa tebia no no wom. Obi a sha atade baako for days, weeks. Eno odenam. Ebi mumma enenam. Eno moye omo noma bi amo sresre ebi tonton noma wabra wo school dem. For days ebi mu nidi ye. Ensuo no so eta ho no entwe ma afam. Ensuo no sanso eyi nka. Na no ana Erika Hianyo echeche noma mu etwa mfonyi e de akere mo say kwam wonam nsuo no wo de kodo nam nsuo no so a wo say chiribe ni premre ni wo no mo ne nanenam ensuo nim oso hu ye oyi na chiribe ni premre wo mo ne nansuo nim because ehwa your natural habitat ordinarily baby a no mo wo no a no mo ne nam a wo mo ye mo ade no ensuo nta me fa ho ebi nso ye chiribe ni premre anasa wo no ma wo mo baby a ensuo na twi omo atwi afomo e de omo abegu ho. And imagine walking inside in Shobisa. Na bibi tiumpo, wuni ma de kura, etiu. Woma, waka omo, na droni wa, yadeba bua omo. And kana bano, se hine frio, here yamanfo here, and as a man for chuko muno, said the yadia bibo, send for yadia bimo, obianim. And it is all because of obi negligence. Obi inability to use the onyakopon dia chena your friend projections foresight. Na mo be ka asema betimi ama ye boa to ye yema na mo se twabo ye. Mo ba ye yemwa na mo se di atam na mo de yanim etwitwi fam. Sa de sobo na boye. Sanitation minister Babia Wobia, shame on you. Ghana buying the manner in which you are handling Akosomo Dam spillage and devastation a Batahono, it is not right. And yet, a ferry, a time. I can't grant a year you may cry what I'm a yard this year moi. I can one for him, Baba. And I rise Ghana. I try krata ten. Na krata no matre no. Woman be akoma aban ahodo anasa mama ahodo ana monsifua e wo Ghana ha. And this is the letter. Was it notification of exodus of victims of the Akosomo Dam spillage into Saglemi housing units? Asamo moka ejarex o ma wa homa so overturning ka but any was say we bring you greetings on behalf of Arise Ghana as well as thousands of victims affected by the spillage of the Akosomo Dam. Sir, as you are aware, the recent spillage of the Akosomo Dam by officials of the Volta River Authority has caused extensive damage to properties and investments of thousands of people in parts of Volta, Oti, Eastern, Greater Accra, and Savannah regions. One noticeable and critical effect of the havoc wreaked by this incident is the displacement of innocent suffering Ghanaians who are in dire need of shelter and decent accommodation. In view of this, we write to notify us and notify no we write to notify you that as we Arise Ghana will be aiding the victims to move into to occupy uninhabited housing units at Saglemi temporarily. We count very much on your kind cooperation and consideration in the interest of the people of Ghana. Thank you. Comradely, yours, faithful and answer, yours, comradely, signed by Rex Omar, one chairman, and a face of Bernard Mona, our chairman, or co-convener, Emma Arise Ghana. Rexoma our chairman Emma Arise Ghana krata omo twema asenso boache Minister for Works and Housing na ne omo kan say sabre ya manfo dabre mu nsem aye basa omo ni baabi omo di omo ti beto ade aye friend decent accommodation baabi a woda esefata say e wo se nipa da enye nika dan mu ebi mu da nika dan mu eno nye decent accommodation ebi mu de dan ase ebi mu de dan tabo dan bi mu ebi mu de da abonten ebi mu de da classroom and na yakom in fact omo ba so e wo classroom that is not decent accommodation by UN standards ye call UN a United Nations Charter on Human Rights any accommodation near amanfo fam e wo framantem sabre any baby omodano it does not meet the standards. I didn't think that Rise Ghana say some mo na munya bibia ye bo mo kokko say ye ba before mo to say the Moses ekwasisa amanfo Israel for no every Muslim no do mo ko Canaan asase no so no wo bo ba beboa no ma di omanim no mo di omako Saglemi housing units no fadan ni chiro mo Saglemi housing units na ye mfa nya hwe na ye nenama ye se ye kwa kosi dan foforo e wo poku ase no owura Rexoma e wa homa no so ye ne ntwetwe nkomo eja chairman ye mo ache mo akwa ba
me jo so kwan
but as a pass what Japan say on here bekasa ensemi ni nia mo ba be ye no nia yen Arise Ghana ye ba be ye no kire mu kire amanfo no bi ehunu
yo me da se kwa me che tie fo nyina so ye tie ni say sa atu yire nkyerem ya atu ye nuano ma omo bota region sabe kwasi broni beka say ye self inflicted na me kran posu de meka say ye boapayo adenti na meka say boapayo dam ya aye men fami enye amfa da ko na ye ma amfa na wotwe amfa bosome edi mfie poli be mi no ne fa e ko mfie mi ensa na ebeduru ba bia aduri nti tama na ye nyina ye nim se dam e wo even measurement obekai rolling star meka say akoso bodam na we into generate electricity one of the abeko in fact at a friend say baby aduru no ma can do 9 feet whatever
in fact for time for peso
exactly
that's right
so via reform na omuni is you know ye ma I bedru baby say some yes pili or selling the thing is I didn't know mutina see ye nhwe han ebepim sabre that means a boapayo because Nkamuni said be say this year. And come didn't come why you did now sabi a bank pet baby may ye move microphone or move ben you know Edwama said ye baya. The more cash and more statistics move against you no manaba. Sabi Mcofasta a friend say at to eventually Emma. Yeah. And so much a high na the ancient super maker say a ye boapayon so say. I said we see ye. Would you share Ghana bang? Na hope it can't ever see.
Yeah.
President Echo on the Asamokai, a hon or the partisan politics. Yen they say at home crofone, a hon president Echo in the partisan politics here, you go to man only do one to a man, and I said, then yes, or a president, the cry say, Yabu to a man, and get that all back. Actually, say, a yabuapayo. Etino. Boapayona mama sase mu yesia o man bia so a enke declare sa voter part of voter region me ye pen say tin enke declare state of emergency akesenka ene ma bebre kofo but ye hu that sabe ankura nko na eboa na nso so my Ghana sika sabe president Hamatan ye de share say DC esegleni
yeah
inflation ne akufo do bae what say a friend say so be a discount who say do say no and fire yen Ghana for no say your taxes na mudi ye dan no and na so be sika so be ni sika e dey benefit and yen Ghana for na mudi taxes ye no e dey benefit ye nya fi hu it's what na enkotre ne a friend say na ye mu ma enti no so ato yen kire mo yaba na sa ban wa yen hwe han no antumi anye bibia am protect the citizens of that area na yen Arise Ghana State, ye lead your near Domako booster glemi temporarily. Because
let's just say, more dio manim, Edio Makogu, a yes, Sagleme Dinimu.
Because, Adena air cost no. Seven previous, you let them come. Minister of Western Housing, or say controversies were home, and at the same time, so electricity in ho, and soon ho. Said the whole tree, why better than the
That's right.
It's just temporary. The only reason why I be jai, and say, any buy any money, muna, or money, 9 money too. No, my Ghana phones or young baby, or creative baby, my home, no, because I dare happen. A better canoe, and soon be stagnant. Yes, stagnant. I say it's your name in a best stagnant, and none of these health issues. No, so best
in fact, Rex been Kawano, Sabra Yakasa, you know, Tata Hono, I shall see a yinka. I shall see a yinka.
So, me, you know what? Can you imagine, say, even President Area Committee, one for health support and come. You see, there's something very wrong in this country with this particular government. And when you catch a friend say, Minister, no. We just want to inform him. They are quite not to tomorrow to tomorrow. You do
not just a character.
Way best up on the stage. I'm pay be more money we are.
Metewana said, not just a character, Mother Commerce and Zubuachi, a year works and housing minister. No, and yes, there be a more set of quine. Nemo, more mana at to say, Nyamo Babe Yenye.
You are calling for Monopa, Yanko Serapine, ye hear quine to be our because. That is someone to me and to Tonyama Ama said the Ghana Pwakwe Jamu say ya. Said the minute that on Indians who number who be young Comaye, a Ghana Pusican idea. It's impossible to be free wine.
Now, come back to number Mubes Mubedis Edumay.
Many said a new political campaigner with me rented basis from Bota region, Northern region, the Baba the most offense campaign was crab.
No crap.
In the same way, your best Ghana for. Said Kakra woman send uncrankre near the rented basis. Me are documenting go for now, no be a copy be abon hoja, copy buying a bayana said.
A buying so say, answer no obehunu, dear, a was what ye, and the manimu ya man for a war from Mantemno. Obejina Debia, Fatima to Abubakar, Deputy Information Minister Freno, Science and Data. Said yet to be honest here, any a man about one more free or more work grounds no. And no major so, Edia Renia, one bit my ya, a baby pay a day I want to beba, and don't swear.
A dear way a time sensitive. A dear be a while. A friend say, won't you go on out there yet? It's one person catches up number science and data. A friend say, Ghana card number and I'm somebody only prepare science data. No, and no, I could say, it's yet means a computer this day and age, and check this area and map up Nipa more. And then I just said, I have to with the Ghana card name. Excuse my language. It's it's just a political talk. I know more, you know. If you have some baby beer, yeah, show me some more Ghana food in everything.
I correct, said a you bet we a day as 7 to baby a dano. Miss House, ye break a crown, Negina, our man so mammy. Now, Memfa Deputy Information Minister, Fatima to Abubakar, Emran Comonim. Now no name come out 1 year D our information ministry no said you was a car a quay on befaso and the abua manfua or more came from Mantem no in your shadow mammy.
All the ministries with their district offices in the affected communities are doing assessments. You know the water levels have not completely dropped. And all the assessments and the required support should be based on the data and science on the ground. Because today, until the water levels go very down and you are able to assess the extent of damage to property and quantify what people have lost, you may just speculate and then put out some figures. And later on, when you come back to inform the people that we may require double or triple of what we had mentioned we would need to rehabilitate the communities, they will say, oh, we don't believe you. They haven't used the resources well and some monies have passed somewhere. So we are faithful, we are keeping faith with the data that will be provided after the water levels are completely down. And the
correct, Yahumana. So, my second bite, you know, Yentie Fatima to Abubakar Bio, Wabra no Wakase, one bejina a year advice, and I say futua, a free experts are on what grounds and so. Na omo de atua eni anamon bi efa baby amanfo de omuti ebeto ne ho nkro no wo de hwade o ne tie mame.
You know, I mentioned that people are there testing the water. People are there. Ghana Health Service have the regional and district directors conducting some tests to see whether the places affected are still habitable in the meantime, whilst the spillage is happening, whether they are too contaminated that people have to be moved. It is that information that they will give to the center that will inform some decisions by the committee. But as it stands now, we haven't received such information. Mind you, we have doctors and nurses on the ground. If you go to Mepe, there is a female doctor, I've forgotten her name, there are about 4 nurses. And these people they know what is happening on the ground and advising so that the necessary next steps can be taken. But if the intention or the questions about the relocation is a long-term question, let me remind you that there are chiefs, there are leaders, there is so much involved in moving people from their social and cultural habitat, away from their property, away from their farms and all that. If the need arises for such a conversation in the future, we will still create the platform for us to have that conversation.
So on the matter of relocation and corrects, waban adwene no yade bia was ye adwene ho daachi bi o.
Me say, you can in able for who. First of all, I said no can practice a buying a feeling. I don't make a choice. Idea we started the so-called science and death, and they should have done it before the spillage. Because they knew, VRA knew that the way they happen. National security knew that the way they happen. It's now beginning to ever happen. No. If they had any science and data, they should have done it ahead of time to move the people temporarily. The common year and uncle young court yet the plan your better on a then a binding bibiaka. But much not say and Shaheim at next year, you know. I think now got the science and data. You would rather them and yes, my can say. You can't say emphatic in Chomo. You see, they should go there temporarily. Said the buyer a buying the so called now and Yaman self what all kind of but see they are now waiting. Until when? This is a political jargon. We are not interested in that. We are interested in people's lives. If you baby more trap for the time being, what's our more yet? But
I consider no account was some say I him for a being as a woman you mobile casanen, the home chronobano, and way.
I know America say, so Moko him for some Diano, Nipana, Mako, Jamuna, Obia Soros in the Penny, Payame Penquan, I say, will let you.
No crap.
A quite 3. What did the Michelin say? Nipano Mako, Jamua, service, so crabby, and because the episode of the commander, and so not block me Fancono. These are the people here, you see. You move woman from baby to first and foremost protect their life, to be able to get access to them, while the government is finding a way to do what it's supposed to have done long ago.
Very well, Uncle Rexoma, Chairman, Emma Rice Ghana, Dwabo Ase, and Obre, Awunyama, you better said you be see a Kodanda Bena, mobile shamo action, I say, when you decided.
Your family say, your name means to make a much on movie. If you should be chronomo. In 2 weeks' time, your movie be a serious happening now, then we will come up with a date.
Very well. Rexoma, no, Chairman Ma Arise Ghana. Was in 2 weeks. What can't tell your matre at the Common Works and Housing Ministry. HSA, and one be here as a man from who came, our Framantum, Yamia Hodwa, a year affected by a Kosovo Down Village. No, Yampebe be a momo and for Muti and Twa. In 2 weeks, Oba who's a buying a year bibia. One be a man for name to say the Moses, Eddie Israel for him, Eddie Omu free, Misri Masasa, so Eddie Omu call Bosch Assassin, so Sabe Pepe no Mobe. Because even with regards to UN standards on baby, your friend, proper accommodation, Nika Muda, and your proper accommodation. Ediasibia Obida, and your proper accommodation. In fact, classroom, a man for a bar peswa. Yemi omudu omasem a omaba peso to say sardino and yet a definition of proper accommodation and as a baby pa and what tia obi bet within the theater I say what that drain ho was sabre a man for one chumo and yes omuna kwasere and a buy and yes you be ɛna Nyankopɔn tɔɔyɛ ɛna de baayɛ yes esuo togu akɔsɔ mo dam ni mo but na yɛ ni da ho sɛ yɛ ehunu sɛ dam ne kɔ soro ɛkɔ soro te sɛ deɛ Rexoma kan no na yɛ nim ɛna yɛ nim sɛ ɛkɔ soro boro so te sɛ deɛ yɛyɛ na yɛbɛbie na ne yɛ nsa so nim sɛ yɛ bia na nsuo no pu ba ebetwa afa nkɔfoɔ so ɛde ɔsɛ yaba we knew all this ɛne atena se ayɛ ahwɛhan saa bere adeɛ yi so aba no hwɛ the way yɛde adeɛ ni agorɔ atoprɛ yɛdi adeɛ wɔ ho agorɔ yɛkɔ ahoma no so na yɛne Isaac yɛfrɛ no Isaac ɔho Gabriel okay yɛne Gabriel ɛntwetwe nkɔmmɔ in fact communities ni bia esuo na bu afa hɔ a sɛsɛi obia nkɔ obia ma esuo taa hɔ ɛna ɔmo hunu deɛ ɔmo nyɛ ɔmo ho yɛne Gabriel ni nkɔmmɔ na ɔntwa hɔ no mfonyin no ɛnkyɛ ne kwan amanfoɔ fa so survival ɛwɔ saa bea kora yi Gabriel me mo akye mo akɔ aba meda ase community yi a yɛka ho asɛm yi yɛfrɛ no sɛn hefa na ɛwɔ
the community a yɛwɔ sisi a na yɛfrɛ no Massive Development ɛwɔ Central Tong
ɛwɔ Central Tong pɛsoa so ɛhɔ no tebea no te sɛ ɛka kyerɛ yɛn
okay sisi a no sɛ akɔsɔmbo nsuo no ɛbaeɛ no sisi a afa yɛni mɛpɛ Central North Tong ɛbɛn nti nsuo no akyɛ ho saa ama yɛ nneɛma bayere yɛ cassava ne nneɛma nyinaa ɛsaeɛ nti sɛ no so yɛ school yɛ community so ɛyɛ service center a ɛsɛ school no so no aclose down nti because nkɔla mo free nkyɛnkyɛn ba nyinaa no so no atwa hɔ nti sɛ ɛbɛpɛ sɛ nkɔ mɛpɛ agye sɛ wokɔrɔse nso mmienu ansa na wakɔ wopɛ sɛ wonkɔ dove ɔkɔ so ɔkɔpɛ so agye sɛ wokɔrɔse nsuo na ɔmo de boat ɛna esi on sana ye fa so
tobo ezuo mienu ya je wutwai ezuo na wo mu bie ma ne ban na say ezutini bi eda ho a river bi eda ho na we ezuo no mu bie ban no
da ya so na ban because ahani ya Kota road
wow
Kota road yes I go anti do fa on say oboko o me bia o mo friend no ye wo Aveime ye wo Paris rice first formerly as
Aveime rice
Aveime rice and say no o ntimi nko fom no so because quite afa and so afa quite nyina nti won timi nko
eti wo so wutwa nsuo mienu asa no akɔmɛpɛ ene so akɔmɛpɛ
yes and yes
na tubo kodoɔ na yɛ di twa no ɛdɔɔso
ekrom mɛpɛ den ekrom mienu na wɔ ene bebi abɛtwa so na bɔkɔ so no so yɛ wɔ kro ba ko
how are you guys able to buy food items amu betime edi amanfo so mo pese mo beye madom na mo de no ma ba no kwan be so no mo so etimi ba ho especially sabere ya kodo e wo ho ye mienu peyi
it's very difficult to go out to buy items you say no anya de otina ko me pen e edin and you say no ya no on ti sia ka so ntimi emba and you say nti obi an so ntimi ba aba ma ya de bia nti o what a
fa na amanfo da
oh send bibia kukura na tene dia nsu amfani nyina pabi enti bibia o na zankrofo
eno no structure besa nipa dodo sai na gum
oh won say krobit say akokofa any atenkofa hore die kura na nyina bibia ni hobiem ntem nyina akọ obi mu kwadi dome na obi mu akọ dopo
okay na samia yi krampa o makọ no eya manfo fie no makọda na say omo amabusua fie how are people surviving
obi mu wo schools at the dome the district capital and mu wo agri college and the agri college amamu any old assembly and then amu place abe three place amu ba obi mu so akọ amu bosiafo ni amu danfo nchen
interesting well na say obi person obeye momo a enoma sa ben na mo behia bo bi kire because ye ne atiefo ne ahwefo no ye boaboa no ma no e de aba enom be sa na mo behia
as you say no you say ne pe aduane you say amo any oil, that cooking intestines are just what you are adding any near my check.
Manyane ntia se nsuo na tata ho no asase eyinka enokre.
Yeah, I'm part of that.
Eba yare ho asema amanfo asase yare na se etesai.
Welcome to Senny dear. Even from nsuo no say no nsuo afa near be breed to say like private private let's say like washroom, don't washroom ni refuge when you nanti no on by the Antonio Panina a bon any quota na so quota na sa nsuo no fakota no sekota no so say
obi yare ahefa ne de ne ko
baby yare there is a call bato hospital na okoteko at the hospital
eno so betena kodo so
yes unless use canoe
kodo mienu yi eno na amanfo de cross yi eno na yede obi oyade a wohia immediate help betum. Wow. Yeah. Gabriel, thank you. I'm a secret film. No, Adiana bigger than we thought. Look, a very big. Na Ghana buying se wouldn't be nya. Declare state of emergency. Said about UNESCO, all these UN agencies, akesi, near mama who do a try and once here. Almost bet to Baba Domi. Because it doesn't look like you have a clue of what is going on. It's in XYZ, your name, your tier for any I have for. Me say, keep to be answer. With your cacrano grandpa, who person would you do, with much him, not the cac, bet you cried in Ama. It's just what was sad, But as we speak, I'm out for an idiot. I'm out for any baby or Mutibeto. And we are no man for being here, a babu almost sabre. Momo number on the screen, so no. 059 721 5419 059 721 5419. Mama yenya way na yemfamwa yenuanom yedan ho aba yeba eja Alex Unicorn Car Rentals owa beyond business nyansapo no. There's also the business aspect of that disaster ya akoso ene ne e wo se amanfo hunu yeba be di san komo no sisi e menko ba bia yedan ho aba sie.